Welcome to a tour of the human digestive system. This is Emma. It takes Emma approximately 24 hours to digest a meal. This is the mouth. It's the first step in digestion. These are the teeth. They help you physically break down your food. Next, we'll look at the roof of the mouth, also known as the palate. The hard palate is at the front of the mouth. The soft palate is at the back of the mouth, extending to the back of your throat. It also contains the uvula, which is a flap of skin. The tongue is a very useful muscle. It helps us form a bolus of food and swallow it. The tongue is divided into 4 regions of taste. In order to taste our food, it must be mixed with saliva. Speaking of saliva, saliva is given off by 6 salivary glands in the mouth. Saliva moistens food, and the salivary amylase begins chemical digestion of food by breaking starch into maltose. The mouth produces nearly 2 liters of saliva per day. Once you swallow your food, it travels through the pharynx and into the esophagus. This is the esophagus. It's lined with circular muscles that lead to the stomach. No digestion actually occurs here, but only with a peristaltic wave it moves the bolus to the stomach. At the end of this esophagus is the cardiac sphincter. This opens up and relaxes with the peristaltic wave. It lets the food into the stomach. This is the stomach. It is where most of the food is digested, aside from the small intestine, of course. It produces 3 products that aid in digestion: hydrochloric acid, mucus, and finally, pepsinogen. Another sphincter at the end of the stomach is the pyloric sphincter. It lets food from the stomach into the small intestine. The stomach can hold 1.5 liters of food. After the chyme is released from the stomach, it goes to the small intestine. The small intestine is divided into 3 regions: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The duodenum is about 25 centimeters long. The liver is one of the largest internal organs in humans. It is the only organ that can regenerate itself. Some of its functions include fighting infections, neutralizing toxins, making proteins and hormones, and clotting blood. Its digestive function is to produce bile, or fat emulsification. Bile is stored in the gallbladder. From the gallbladder it is transported through the common bile duct to the small intestine for use. It can store 30 to 50 milliliters at once. The common bile duct joins up with the pancreatic duct before it reaches the small intestine, the pancreas. Pancreatic juice contains 5 important substances that aid in digestion: sodium bicarbonate, lipase, pancreatic amylase, nuclease, and trypsin. The Greek word for pancreas means all meat. Pancreas also makes hormones, insulin and glucagon, to control blood sugar levels. The pancreatic duct transports the pancreatic juice to the small intestine. The common bile duct joins up with it. At the end of it is the sphincter of Oddi. It controls the release of the bile and pancreatic juice. The small intestine also produces digestive enzymes: maltase, sucrase, lactase, peptidase, and nucleosidase. The small intestine is also well adapted to absorb the nutrients that are broken down from the chyme back into the bloodstream. This is what the small intestine looks like. There are networks of blood capillaries running all through the intestine so that the nutrients can be better absorbed back into the bloodstream. The walls are covered with columnar epithelial cells and also goblet cells for better absorption. The villi, or fingers, are the main component that increase the surface area. The blood capillaries, they can absorb glucose, amino acids, phosphates, sugars, vitamins, and minerals. The veins run from the walls of the small intestine over to the liver, where the blood is filtered and treated to get rid of any toxins. The structure surrounding is called the mesentery. All the nutrients are absorbed into it. After absorption, the waste then travels to the large intestine. The matter entering the large intestine is mostly waste, fiber, and water. It enters through the cecum, then goes through the ascending, transverse, and descending. The large intestine is about 1.5 meters long, and it also excretes a few salts. This little thing over here is the appendix. It was once thought useless, but now we know it can perform an immune function. After passing through the large intestine, waste enters the rectum for temporary storage. Stretch receptors send signals to the brain to let it know that we need to dispose of our wastes. To exit the body, waste passes through the anus's 2 sphincter muscles. So let's review. If Emma eats a cookie, First, it passes through the mouth, down the esophagus, and to the stomach. From the stomach, it passes into the small intestine, where it's mixed with pancreatic juice and bile from the gallbladder and the liver. Nutrients are absorbed in the small intestine, into the bloodstream. From the small intestine, passes into the large intestine, through the rectum, and finally out the anus. The entire digestion process takes about 24 hours. Thanks for watching!